The boat can tell the crew.
Well, we're back once again, and yours truly is here to give you a little tutorial action on one of my favorite characters. This time around, we're going to do a tutorial on how to draw Slimer from the Ghostbusters movie, 1984, as well as more prevalently in the Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters cartoon, back from when I was a kid. So we're going to start off with the nose action because, he had a little button nose. We're going to work into the eyes. Now these eyes, you want to make them kind of bulgy, kind of big. This is more of a, cartoon expression we're going to put on his face. And for a character like Slimer, expression's everything. So you want to really kind of make those eyes kind of very expressive. Work on the brows a bit. Give those brows kind of a good look to them. You want to make them kind of furrowed out. Give a little bag action under the eyes. And then we're going to work your way into the laugh lines. Little indentation in the nose. And you have that mouth. Now the mouth itself is going to be really accentuated. You want that mouth to really stand out. So you make it even more ridiculous than it normally would be, It's going to be a very animated character. You want to give that good cheekbone action, give a little more laugh line action as well. As expressive as you can, you want to make this character really stand out. You want to make him seem like he's, actually making a very expressive look on his face, a very animated look. He's a little on the mischievous side. I like Slimer. He's fun. So we're going to give some more laugh lines, and we're going to show the top of the head action there. You kind of a bulb, rounded off head. And now you want to, when you're making these lines, you're not just making any lines. You're making these lines as if they were on a face. So you want to do as much action with that as possible. Give a lot of detail. We're also going to do the teeth action right now, as you can see. And now the teeth, you're going to be really work on that gum line. Make sure you show some gums on this. He had a very open expression usually. You saw the gums, you saw the tongue, and that's what you kind of want to show in this. You want to really have that effect going for you. Make them kind of jagged because they weren't exactly straight, Give a little more line action there. Think of the lines on him. You got to think of the perspective involved. He was kind of like, he was a floating potato. You know what I mean? There was a lot of lumps, there was a lot of bumps, there was a lot of grooves, So you want to add those in there as well. And make it in a way where it's going, backwards. Think of it as kind of a 3D look. You know what I mean? So make sure you actually add that in. Also, don't forget to add in the mouth there. You got a little laugh line action around the mouth, and it's a really large mouth. So it goes all the way past his eyes, which goes against the whole idea of when you're drawing in perspective, but on a face normally. But that's a human face. This right here, you can go hog wild on. And that's why I'm doing this particular character, because you can do a lot more that you can't do with just normal human face. We're going to do the lower portion of his jaw there, his teeth. You got that tongue kind of hanging out a little bit, You want to give that tongue a lot of look. Make sure it's very prevalent there. You get a very big mouth. So give a little more action on the gums too. You want to show those gums. You add kind of that very open expression, and when you open your mouth really wide, your lips go back a bit, so that those gums kind of just shoot out there, You want to do a lot of dark as well around the eyes and around the mouth area, because that's going to be your shadows. Go with that bottom lip. The bottom lip is going to be really prevalent too, because he's a big mouthy guy. As I was saying before, the lines on his body are really going to illustrate to whoever looks at this as the effect of 3D. So you want to make those lines in a perspective fashion, where you're not just drawing lines to show that there's lines. You want to kind of make those lines, those grooves, as if it was in a 3D format. Go backwards with those lines so that you actually can see the layers of, I don't know, ghost fat? I'm not sure exactly. Ectoplasmic ghost fat? I don't know. But anyways, we also want to give him kind of a really cool look. So we're going to add in his hands, and what we're going to do his hands with what I think probably would be the best way, as you can see, is give him kind of that, that's right, I did that. Give him that kind of look and feel like he's coming at you. If you remember in the original Ghostbuster movie, at some point he does go after Dr. Venkman, and it's that whole thing that he did. And this is what we're doing here. So he's kind of like coming at you. The hands can be pretty cartoony, but I mean, you want to make them look like hands. You don't want them just, fat little digits. He did have some good looking hands there. So you want to make sure that you have joints, you have the knuckles showing, and it's kind of that whole grasping at you or charging at you look to him. And, the arms, like I said, the beautiful thing about this character, he's kind of a blobby sort of character. You don't really have to worry too much about his limbs being in perspective as far as the musculature and so forth. So this is kind of one of those really easy ones I'm starting off with. So I do love his face. You gotta love that face. I mean, it's a little wacky. We're gonna go in with some color now. Now, again, the tongue, the gums, you want to give as much color to those as possible, but don't go overboard, because you want to show in that dead space, and the white space is going to be that shine. So you want to still keep some of that shine in there. Keep some of that white going. Do the same around the eyes too, because he has got kind of bloodshot looking eyes. It gives it more life, Time to go in with some green. Now, in doing the green, because it is Slimer, I went with just a basic green on this, just to kind of illustrate what we're talking about. But the way you do this is going to be really important. You want that green to kind of illustrate the shadows involved with Slimer. So wherever you're putting this green is really going to be those shaded areas on his body, and the white action is going to actually illustrate the slimy, shiny, reflective portion of his body. So it's something to definitely keep in mind where you're putting the green. That's what's going to really give that look like he's kind of shiny or shimmery, Add in a little under the locations of his cheek here. Now, in doing this, you got to make sure that you're just getting all the lower aspects of him. The shine should not be coming from the lower as much as the higher. Think of the lights coming down on him. Okay, at least that's what I'm doing with this. Now, you can put the light wherever you want to, but just be advised, this is where you want to have the light kind of hitting him. So if you want to give it a better perspective in terms of where that's happening, this is how you do it. This is basically how I'm illustrating it. So the light's going to be coming from above. It's going to give kind of that white shine, but it's going to have all the green layers, all that green Slimer look to him is going to be right there as the undertone underneath his cheeks and his lips and his body, and his hands even. A little more on this side here. Slimer green is a great color, isn't it? You gotta love it. Now the lower areas, like I said, do the same thing there because you're showing perspective. So you want to kind of do a little darkening around where it would be going underneath him or behind him even as he's going back, because remember, he's charging at you. The under layer of his arms, elbow area, all this right here. Even on the hands, make sure you do some good shading on the hands. Remember, the fingers are coming outward in a perspective, so you want to kind of give a little shading around those as well. I always love this character. Slimer is just such a fun character to play with as far as creating it. It's really easy because he's a big blob, so you don't really have to worry about it. Are things anatomically correct? He's a giant green potato. So it's a lot of fun to kind of create that look. Go around with those brows. Kind of want to darken around the eyes really nicely, Make sure you get those lines above his head there on his forehead. A little more of those lines there underneath his body. I'm not done yet. Let's see what we can do here. We got a little more action going on. We're gonna do a little more there. There we go. We're gonna give a little yellow action to his eyes, kind of that very bloodshot looking. He's not really human, so it's kind of neat. Also, we're gonna do a little of that same color on his teeth because it gives kind of that dirty, kind of gross feel to him. So it gives kind of a darker, shade to those as well. A little more on his fingernails. Yeah, so you get the undertone there on the lower teeth, and there you have it. You got Slimer. Now that we're not done yet. Oh no, because this is Ghostbusters. So our next step, we're going to add in a little more fun. This is Slimer charging at you. That's how we do this. But he could very well be running away from something, right? And what would he be running away from? That's right. He'd be running away from... Okay, I was kidding. There's a little more green action there. Yeah, that looks about right. Our next step is, like I was saying, we're going to add in a little proton pack action. We're going to do a couple of bolts of proton pack shooting at him. So is he running away or is he coming at you? Either way, he's coming your way. But we're going to do a little action with the streams from the proton pack being shot at him. I think that'd be a little fun. You can almost feel him. Huh? You can almost see him, So I'm adding that in as well. You can go crazy with those as much as you want. I mean, it was kind of a electric beam of just energy. So, I mean, you can go all over the place. So there you have it. You got Slimer going on. What more can you ask for? Now you can go in and you can do even more with this if you like. But for now, who are you going to call?
Mr.